Once again, Nate, I am asking for your opinion
I can't leave this place.
on Marvel Spider-Man. So, we're going to be taking a look today at the sequel, which we know is going to happen, but it's not confirmed yet. You're right, they're just going to take the multi-million-dollar game and just drop
they're
it
done.
right there.
They're done.
They're very clearly making a sequel. They set up a sequel in the first game. And hey, before we get started, two things. One, this video will have some spoilers from the first game. So if you've never played it and you're like, I can't imagine going into it knowing something, you got to get out of here now because I warned you. Number two, we have a new Let's Play channel up where we are playing through all kinds of fun games. Nate and I right now are playing through Kingdom Hearts. I'm playing through Resident Evil and Arkham Origins with T. Then I know we're starting Shadow of the Colossus. Nate and I are going to play Assassin's Creed 2. There's a lot of stuff happening over there, and some Spider-Man games are going to be coming as well. So be sure that you head on over there, check it out, link in the description below. Let's hop right into it. The first thing we want to see is better side missions.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the side missions kind of suck. Some of them are good.
Yeah, do you remember that horrible screwball mission?
That was I
awful.
can't forget it.
That
And
was
you know what's
awful.
funny about the screwball mission? Everybody complained about it. So do you know what they did for the DLC?
What?
They dropped them.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. They actually put screwball missions in every DLC as well.
Yep.
So this is their idea of like the Riddler. It's a bad character. It's a bad idea. It was funny for like the first two missions of it, and after that everyone was tired of it, including us. That is a bad mission, and that's an example of what we don't want to see. But at the same time, there's some side mission stuff this does better than other superhero games. Like, I think this has some of the best collectibles in superhero games.
I love those backpacks.
Yeah, they're actually great.
Capture.
They provide lore and backstory.
Yeah, I love how it's like an artifact or something of his past.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Well, it's a good way to actually tie that into the game, and it's kind of a shame that we don't see that as often from other games in the hero genre. Usually collectibles are just some useless trinket to power you up, or just something to get you to another mission.
Right.
So
The backpacks aren't as cool as Riddler trophies, though. Like 400 of them. Arkham City.
yeah. Anyways, moving on. So let's see some better side missions next time, Insomniac, because your main story's written very well. We also do want to see the black suit, which we've mentioned before, but if it's in the game, we want... Well, you can explain it better than me. It's a mechanic almost that goes along with it.
Yeah, so I think it'd be cool if they added in the black suit, except there was stipulations to it.
Ooh, big words.
So, I know. So there was almost like karma
Yeah.
and good and evil choices. So if you put on the black suit, you can almost do more evil tasks or jobs.
Anti-hero-y stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe you brutally beat up a villain or...
Well, there's an example of this in Spider-Man Web of Shadows. That's where you see a lot of that kind of thing. We thought that's a good idea. I mean, clearly that game tries really hard to go in on the edgy aspect of it, so you can kind of tone that back if you want to. But Spider-Man 3, the game, had something similar too in the last gen version of it.
Right.
Where it was like wearing the suit would actually alter people's perceptions of you.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then if you like, let's say like the longer you wore it, the worse your perception got.
Yeah.
Or the more evil stuff you could do. I don't know. Like there's different aspects they can bring into the game.
Right. Yeah, and I think it is important to clarify too. This is something you and I would not say disagreed on, but needed to get on the same page on when we were talking about this. We're not talking about like Spider-Man puts on the black suit and all of a sudden he's like kidnapping children and like beating old women
and, like,
into the ground or something.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's not like Spider-Man's out there like committing hate crimes against the elderly or like other groups. It's just that he's like more like prone to violence maybe.
Right.
Maybe he's stronger. His moves are like less athletic and more like based on brute force.
Maybe he like dances really creepily out of bars or something.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with that.
Stuff like that.
You know, like but it's some jazz music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
now dig on this.
Now dig on this. That's what we want to see for sure.
Exactly.
We're not getting hired by anybody ever. So the next thing we want to see is a different playable character, but he was kind of playable in the first one, but now he would be very different.
Screwball.
No.
Oh, okay.
Miles Morales. Because Miles Morales now can use spider powers. So we could really kind of get into like the Spider-Men-ish storyline where it's more than one, or into the Spider-Verse-y type thing where you have Peter Parker playing off of Miles Morales and both are Spider-Man.
You know what would actually be cool? I just thought of this.
What's that?
What if they had a mechanic like Arkham Knight Remember, like, how you can switch between, like, Batman and Robin in, like, the middle of a combat mission?
Yeah.
What if you could switch in between Peter and Miles? Like,
in certain missions?
Yeah, like, in the middle of a combat mission.
I think that'd be awesome.
You could do, like, team-ups, like, Peter would send a villain towards Miles, then you could switch to Miles. He would, like, take him down or something from the air.
Well, and what I really think that they're going to end up doing eventually is transitioning it to a Miles game.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think that at some point what will happen is maybe not during the second game, but I could very easily see during the third game in this franchise, because we know it'll be a franchise.
Right.
It just made so much money. I could see in the third game of this franchise something like them killing off Peter Parker or transitioning him out and moving Miles in to take his place after he's had a few games in like a lesser role, not the main role, but close.
Yeah.
And then moving him into that role. I could very easily see something like that happening. I don't think we want to see that in the second game. I think that'd be pretty quick for that.
Yeah, I'd like to see Peter in at least one more game.
Same. Yeah, but I do think that that's something that they're working towards eventually. And I think a problem so far is that a lot of your exposure to Miles is either in bad missions, which we'll get into some of those as well in a bit, or it's over the phone.
Yeah, I think the problem Insomniac is quickly figuring out also is they're running out of parents to kill.
Yeah, you need to move on from that aspect. They really did sort of go after that aspect with Miles, as you know, the same with Peter, and that's something that happens in the comics as well. So it does make sense. It helps tie them together, but I think that both of them kind of need to move away from that parental figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Aspect.
They need to move into like their own characters.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of Peter is tied up in May, and a lot of Miles is tied up in his father.
Right.
In the first game, and it'd be nice to see them both break away from that as Miles becomes more playable. Even if they just do a DLC focused entirely on Miles, you know, five hours long. You just play as Miles. You go through a mini story, whatever.
Exactly. That'd be cool.
So the next thing we want to see. Oh, you brought this up. You are completely right.
Yeah. We don't want to see any MJ missions.
No, none.
At all. Not a single one.
Nope.
None. Those were awful.
They were really bad. And that's the thing is, like, if you go back and play them, I hope I have some footage of this. I might not even anymore. But, like, basically, there's very little effort put into these. When you play the MJ missions, a lot of it is just sneaking around and hiding and trying to get behind guys and tasing them.
Yep.
Don't tase me, bro. And so basically you hit this point where you have to call in Spider-Man to take people out. Have you ever looked closely at that level, by the way?
No.
If you watch it, after you call Peter in to take somebody out on the ground, he zips up to the ceiling and fades out of existence.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
really?
They put so little effort into these MJ sections and the details on them and everything. It was very clearly an afterthought. I would not have been surprised if they came out and said, yeah, we added that in the last month of development.
Yeah.
I would not have been surprised at all. The MJ missions and the Miles missions that are sneaking, both of those were like this. We don't want an on-the-ground perspective.
No.
It's not why you play Spider-Man.
Well, and it's also the most basic gameplay ever.
Right.
It's just, run to that next box and hide. Wait for guy to walk away. Run to the next box and hide. Wait for that guy to walk away, and then repeat like 10 times.
Yeah, or you throw unlimited spider noisemakers.
Yeah.
I always forget the name of them, but the little spider bots that generate noise.
Yeah.
And you have unlimited, so there's no risk reward for it at all. And you can just keep chucking them to draw people away. The AI is so stupid in those sections of the game.
Know.
It's pathetic. And it's bad. Like, the AI is bad in normal sections, but you don't notice it because you're Spider-Man.
Right.
So you're wiping the floor with them. But as these characters, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's why we don't want to see any of these missions.
No, none. If you really need to include MJ in some kind of mission, photography.
Yeah.
If you have some really good way to do that, because they've incorporated photography into most of the modern Spider-Man games, fine.
Yep.
Otherwise, no thanks. So the final one we want to see is Harry Osborn.
Yes. This is what I was waiting for actually the entire game.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of disappointed when he wasn't in the game.
And yet he kind of is, because it's really, he's in
it, but not in
really.
person.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of a lot of what the Venom storyline seems to be tying into, which is weird. It seems like this is a different take on Venom.
Yeah.
It almost seems like their Black Suit storyline is going to be more similar to the Ultimate comics. In Ultimate Spider-Man, it'll still be a very different origin, but the symbiote in that continuity was created as like sort of a cure for cancer type thing.
Yeah.
Peter's father worked on it, and it gets kind of complicated, but essentially it was designed to be a suit that would encompass the person, be alive around them, and cure their ailments. But it like kind of went wrong. And so that's sort of what that was. So it'd be interesting to see if that's the spin they're going with, because we see it near Harry. You know, it's very clearly like part of his condition or trying to cure him or whatever. We just don't have enough information on it yet.
Well, and it's also weird that I thought that he wasn't in the game because he was heavily implied to be like an important part of that story.
And of Peter's life.
Yeah, and Peter's life too. So, I don't know, I was really disappointed he wasn't in it because Harry, I think, has always been my favorite Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
Like, I've always just loved him. So, I would be really excited to see him in the second one.
Same. I think that they definitely were saving him for a sequel. I think, though, that they did build it up now where it better not be disappointing. Because like you said, everybody was waiting for him the whole first game, never shows up. So now that we know he'll be there, please don't let us down.
Please don't do like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Harry.
Oh, no, please don't. So hey, these are 5 things we want to see from the Marvel Spider-Man sequel on, we're assuming, PS5. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. What would you like to see in the game? Would you like to see any of these? Or are any of these just terrible ideas and we're awful people? You're awful, Murray. Let us know what you're thinking. Check out the new Let's Play channel. We got a Discord, Reddit that I don't check often enough, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon,
OnlyFans.
everything. Oh, that's coming soon.
Okay.
We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.